Hello, everyone. Welcome you all for our third episode on Sunrise Podcast. I'm your host Dave, joined by co-host Abhi. Today we are gonna talk about the Super 4 games of Asia Cup 2023. We are recording on Saturday, which is like a day before finals. I'm sure you're all looking forward to the finals like we are. So, let's continue from where we left off in our last episode. The India Pakistan game, which happened on both September 10th and 11th. And I think last time when we stopped, it was KL Rahul and Kohli was batting. Like they just started trying to build a partnership. Oh my God, what a partnership it was! It just like went on, and they literally batted for the entire innings and took us to a humongous 356 runs. It was excellent innings from both of them, and it was much needed for both of them and for Team India, considering Rahul is coming out from an injury and he was able to stay there for the entire innings and score a century on his comeback. And even though Kohli has been on and off, he's not as he's not the same Kohli that we know like 4 or 5 years ago, but it is good to know that he still got it. He can still do it. Even if he can play one or two of such innings in the World Cup, we would be in extremely good shape for this World Cup. When Pakistan started batting, I think the bowlers initial overs they just like swung the ball both ways and troubled both the openers. And once they started seeing the ball moving and the target was really stiff, and it became really difficult for them, and they started losing wickets, and India just cash in. And we cannot overlook Kuldeep Yadav. He's been excellent since his comeback, and he's been fearless, which is extremely happy. I'm really happy to see Kuldeep Yadav playing as well as he's playing. But yeah, Abhi, I think uh, I can talk forever about this game. Why don't you tell me about what do you feel about the game?
So this was one of the games that I enjoyed the most after a long time. Not because India won it like one-sidedly, but just because of the kind of cricket we played. This is the kind of batting performance that we know that our top order is capable of giving us, and that's exactly what they delivered. Like we know their capabilities, but it's been a while since they have shown it against a top quality pace attack like Pakistan, and they delivered in style. Um, Especially, I think the opener set the tone for us. We've had, Shaheen Afridi trouble us. We've talked about it in our previous podcast as well. But the way they took the attack to him, they started attacking him really aggressively. They moved around in the crease. They came forward to play a few of the shots. They did not get stuck in the crease, and they upset his rhythm. Once his rhythm was upset, they got a lot of loose balls and they cashed in on that. And then they got out. Both of them got out really, close to each other. And again, there was another big rebuilding job to be done. And this is two players who are probably, I would say, was not in the best of the form that they are, especially KL Rahul coming after a long injury. Kohli has been, like you said, on and off. So we don't know what to kind of expect from him. But then the way they started attacking after the initial period that they took to get settled really set the tone for us. It was brilliant attacking cricket. Both of them deserved their hundreds, and I really enjoyed the kind of shots Kohli played. It looked as though something just unlocked in Kohli right now, because I've never seen him play those cheeky, opening the face of the bat to, score a boundary over third man or something like that. And he started playing those shots, and it bodes really well for us going into a big tournament like the World Cup, when your senior batsman is in that kind of a mindset where he needs to score runs. Doesn't matter how he scores it, but he needs to score runs. So that was really enjoyable to watch, and the kind of six hitting both Kohli and Rahul displayed was just phenomenal. It is a really good sign for us if they can keep up this form going into the World Cup, especially with Shreyas Iyer's injury concerns coming into place. We are looking for one more batsman who's going to fill in that slot, Ishan Kishan, Suryakumar Yadav, and all that. But if we can have this amount of certainty in our top four and this amount of form in our top four, it really is a great sign for us. And then for the from the bowling point of view, I really enjoyed our new ball bowling, especially Bumrah and Siraj, the way they move the ball. Sometimes I felt they were doing banana swing. It's just brilliant bowling. The one aspect that I really liked about the bowling was the lengths were hard lengths. It was just on the good length or short of a good length. It was neither too full or not too short. If it was too full, I am not sure if they would have gotten the same amount of moment that they got. They put the ball in the right lens, let the ball do the talking, and the Pakistani top order could not have cashed in and have scored aggressively like India scored. Uh, with Jasprit Bumrah again, he's coming off of a long injury. He's not back to his very best yet. That's what I feel, but he's getting there. We are seeing signs of what Bumrah can do, and he's a really dangerous bowler in any condition if he bowls like this. Hardik Pandya needs special mention as well because he bowled the same tight lines and lengths and didn't give away too many runs and really set the game up for Kuldeep because everybody wanted to take the attack to Kuldeep, and that's his strength. When someone tries to hit Kuldeep, is when he gets his wicket taking abilities to the fore. So he bowls his wrong ones, he bowls the conventional left arm leg spin and all that, and he has a lot of varieties up his bag, and he showed all of that and very deservedly got a 5 wicket haul. It was a complete team performance in my opinion. Everybody had a great outing, and that would have given a great deal of confidence to the team to put in such an amazing performance, especially against a strong Pakistan team.
Yeah, but I think I have a point on there. Like you're saying Jasprit Bumrah is not at his best. I don't know whether I agree with you because he's been breathing fire. He's swinging ball everywhere and he's pitching exactly where he wanted to pitch. He, I I didn't see any rustiness in his bowling at all. Like I believe he is at his best now. This was a full-fledged performance from the entire team, and I'm sure the entire team would have been delighted with this performance. And to make things worse for the Pakistan team, they lost both their premium bowlers. Like we remember the first game, how well they bowled against India. Those three, like Naseem Shah, Shaheen Afridi, with Harris Shroff, they were the best bowling lineup, at this moment. And unfortunately, they lost both of them in this game. And I even saw in news that probably Naseem Shah might miss out even the World Cup. So that's an unfortunate sign for the Pakistan team. Okay, so yeah, that was a great game. We can talk about it forever, but let's just keep going. I think following that game, the very next day we had to face Sri Lanka, and we both of us know how important the game was because uh, you need to be in the top two. And yes, we have beaten Pakistan, but if we lose to Sri Lanka, then we might be out of the tournament. So, and that too to play them the next day without that much of a rest in an one-day international, it must have been really challenging. And Abhi, do you want to talk about the India Sri Lanka to begin with?
Yes, definitely. It was really challenging to play back-to-back games, especially with the rain playing spoil sport on the first day of the India-Pakistan game. But I really liked what Kohli said in the post-match presentation, the kind of attitude that he showed. He came up and said, "Hey, we are test match players. We play 90 overs one day and come back and do the same thing the next day." And that's the kind of positive attitude that the team needs. And a senior player like Kohli coming and displaying that attitude was really great for us. And then not just the talk and the attitude, I think we showed in performance as well. In the next game we won against Sri Lanka, there were a, there were a few scary moments for us in there. It wasn't as comprehensive as the Pakistan game at different points we were looking really fragile and shaky. I don't know if it's because they played back-to-back games, or it's just that cricket is a really uncertain game, right? That's the beauty of
Yeah,
cricket. You don't know what it's going to throw you on a certain day. So going into the game, I think Rohit Sharma again showed brilliant form, scoring at a really brisk pace. Took the attack to the fast bowlers, set the tone for us in the power play and after as well. And unfortunately, got out again at a very unfortunate time. Rohit used to be known for his daddy hundreds. Once he gets sets and gets past a score of 50, we always kind of expect him to go and score 150, 200. There was a time when Rohit crossed 100. Everybody was expecting, okay, he's going to go score a 200 today. But that's kind of faded away in these past few years. I don't know why. Maybe because he's trying to be too attacking, he loses his wicket sometime. But the way he sets the tone in the power play is also really great for us.
yeah. I think about the Rohit's innings that you're talking about and not scoring big hundreds. I saw recent statistics, I think a couple of days ago, where his strike rate in the last 2 3 years have increased from around 89 or 90s, low 90s to 105 or 106 in the last 2 3 years. But his average have dipped a lot. I think, as you mentioned, he's trying to show the intention and he's trying to show the aggression. By doing so, he couldn't convert his innings, like convert his 50s into hundreds and stuff like before. I thought I'll just point that out. But yeah, keep going. I think in addition to Rohit from India, I was really impressed with KL Rahul because when he came in, we were really struggling, and so Ishan Kishan and KL Rahul, both of them, their partnership is what helped us come out of the 3 wicket loss in like 10 runs or 11 runs. So yeah, both KL Rahul and Ishan Kishan, both of them played really well along with Rohit. How are you seeing KL Rahul? Like comparing the previous 100 in the previous game, in the game versus India Pakistan, to this slow and steady and smooth innings of 39.
So I think two different innings and two different situations, I would say rather. We played in the same ground, but it looked like a completely different kind of pitch where the ball was turning and bouncing. It had a lot of purchase for the spinners. We didn't see as much. I would say as much because Kuldeep Yadav got a 5 wicket haul. I wouldn't. I didn't see as much of a threat with the spinners in the India-Pakistan game, but when the Sri Lankan spinners bowled, they looked like they were going to pick up a wicket every single ball, especially after those 3 wicket spell. We needed someone to stabilize the innings, or we would have gotten out for a really cheap total. Both Ishan Kishan and Ken Rahul played really responsibly and took us to a decent total. I think their partnership in the middle was very impressive. We've talked about our top order firing, our top order being very dangerous. I'm seeing the real potential the our middle order can offer now. Like you said in the first podcast, if I remember right, we hadn't tested our middle order in such big tournaments a lot, but in this tournament, our middle order is getting an extended outing, and more often than not, they're kind of proving that they can do the job for the team and take us to a good total. A very impressive innings by both Ishan and Rahul, but I expected more of them. I expected one of them to bat through and get a big score, but it was not to be that day because Dunit Velalage, I have to talk about his bowling. Man, he bowled brilliantly. He got 5 wickets and not just any 5 wickets. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, and Hardik Pandya. Those are the 5 wickets. If anybody gets those 5 wickets in a single game, it's a really special day for them. And that man bowled excellently, and I'm really impressed with him. And he's really young too, so I'm excited to see more of him light up the world cricket stage.
Yeah, I think the first time I heard that name was in one of Ashwin's video, like 2 years ago or at least 1 year ago. He mentioned, "Oh, you need to watch out for this guy. Dunit Velalage from Sri Lanka. I think he was the captain in under 19 World Cup for Sri Lanka, and he's been doing extremely well from then onwards. And every time I see him, I'm seeing that fight in him. And even in this game, in addition to taking the 5 wicket, that five top wicket, when he come out to bat, I thought, okay, they're already 6 down, 7 down. We will wrap up soon. But man, the fight that he showed, the partnership that he built with DDS, that I thought maybe they will go and get the remaining run. I started questioning, or I think the doubt in my head continued to grow up. It's like, are we really going to lose this game after taking like 25 for three and removing all their three top order batting and almost no run? And if we lose from there, then that's going to put the team really down. Is what I was afraid of. But like somehow I think we came out on top in the game.
Right, you're right. I mean, like I said before, at different points, it looked like the game was going to go away from us, but someone came in and pulled it back for us. Like you said, Dunit Velalage seems like a really great talent, not just with the bat, not just with the ball, with the bat as well. He seemed really threatening when he came out to bat. Uh, but again, once again, Kuldeep Yadav, we have to talk about him. What a brilliant performance! 4 wickets, uh, took really crucial wickets of Sadira and Asalanka, and then came on and wrapped up the tail. So really impressive performance from him. Again, once again, back-to-back days, getting 5 wickets one day, getting 4 wickets another day. No mean feat. Kudos to Kuldeep Yadav. He is looking like a real prospect for India in the World Cup. Um, Very threatening wicket-taking option as well. He's bowling good lines and lengths. He's getting the ball to turn, and he can be really useful for us in turning pitches like Chennai come the World Cup.
Yeah, I would like to mention credit to Rohit Sharma for holding his last 1 over.
Mhm.
I was expecting him to bowl like 2 3 overs before that time. Somehow he waited and waited, and um, once they are 8 down, he brought, like, once their tail ender Rajita and Patirana. I think Rajita was the one who was batting. He just gave the ball to Kuldeep Yadav. The first ball he got that wicket, and then 2 balls later Patirana, and then they just wrapped the game in 3 balls. It was excellent to see. And that game, if I remember correctly, I think um, Bumrah was sitting out, kinda like in a. I think they had substitute in for Bumrah. Is it this game or India Pakistan? Probably
No,
this one. Yes.
it was the Sri Lanka game that was really
Yeah.
concerning. I think it was just because I think I saw a clip of him while bowling. He just kind of slipped and his ankle
Okay.
kind of twisted. So they probably didn't want to risk it because
Okay.
we need to preserve that ankle probably with golden locks, if I have to say for the World Cup. Um, but it was a precautionary measure. But before he went off injured, like he breathed fire, like you said. The kind of line and length he bowled, the way he got the ball to move. It's a We've seen what Bumrah can do with the new ball before he got injured, but then this is just a new dimension. He's come in, and I think he's taken the responsibility of being the premium pacer of the team on his shoulders really well, and he's carrying the Indian pace attack, which is a really good sign. Um, like you said, I would also like to commend Rohit Sharma's captaincy, not just for this game, in a couple of other games as well. I noticed the kind of bowling changes he did. Most times when he brought on a bowler for a second spell, they came and gave a wicket, especially case in point Jadeja. When Shanaka and Dhananjay De Silva were batting, those both batsmen could have taken the game away from us. He brought Ravindra Jadeja into the attack, and bam, in the over number one, he takes a wicket of Darshan Shanaka, and then Dhananjay De Silva follows soon as well. So it was good to see these kind. Cricket is not just game of talents and individual performance. Aspects like these, captaincy, fielding changes, smart bowling changes, also plays a real great part in deciding the outcome of a game. And this is good to see that we are in good shape with the leadership on the field.
Yeah. I mean, I actually thought this game was a roller coaster, like the old ODI trend of scoring 260 and then like, oh, okay, you are in the team. Oh, okay, uh, the first team is winning, or no, second team is winning, first team is winning, second team is winning. It was just like up and down, up and down. But then the next game where Pakistan versus Sri Lanka, it was, oh my god, what a roller coaster it was. The first innings was okay. It was like Rizwan was like holding the team. Like as long as Rizwan was there, they're going to get to a reasonable score, is what we thought, and exactly what happened. I think when he came in, the team was like 70 or 80 runs, something they scored. From there, he just played the entire innings till the end, and he scored an impressive 86. And I think this game belonged to Iftikhar, if I can say that, not just with the bat but also with the ball. He was every time Pakistan was like going, the game was slipping away from Pakistan. He just Babar would bring in Iftikhar, and he gets a wicket like every time. And I think there were a couple of missed chances as well. He should have gotten 5 in this game, and Pakistan should have won this game. That's how well he played, and but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. But yeah, it was an excellent game. It goes to the last ball, and the luck was with Sri Lanka to win this game. How did you enjoy the card performance, and like if you have any other important points in this game?
Yeah, of course. The game, like you said, was the testament of how ODI cricket has been over the years. Recently, we're seeing trends of scoring 350, excess of 300 totals, teams chasing it down. Even a couple of days ago, we had Australia versus South Africa, where Henrik Klaasen blasted a 80 ball 175, and South Africa
Yeah.
scored 415 and all. That's a sign of the modern game, but this really took us back to the years where, like you said, ODI games were chased all about chasing 250, 260, going till the last over, all those roller coaster kind of games. This was exactly that. For most part, when Sri Lanka was batting, I thought they were cruising. When Kusal Mendes and Samara Vikrama were batting, they were batting so flawlessly, and they were keeping the run rate in check. They were, in fact, at most times over the required run rate. So I thought it was going to be they were going to finish the game in cruise mode, and then suddenly Iftikhar comes in, picks up both Kusal Mendes and Samara Vikrama, and the game completely changed on his head. Now it was up to this
It was
it was up,
Asalanka.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
up to Asalanka and the rest of the tail as well. People like Dhananjay De Silva, Dunit Vellalage, they played really well against India, but they got out cheaply. But Asalanka took the game really deep. I still remember there was one like kind of interesting incident with the run out of Pramod Madhushan, where he made sure that Asalanka reached the batting crease before he got out, just so that Asalanka's wicket does not go out. It's street smart things like these. It's what makes cricket so exciting. And in the end, I think it's a well-deserved victory for Sri Lanka. We've seen how far their ODI cricket has evolved in the few years. It's a really great testament of that. They're in the Asia Cup final, and I think they are a really strong side going into the World Cup too. Yeah, we also have to keep in mind that they are missing one of their premier bowlers in Wanindu Hasaranga this tournament. Maybe he comes back for the World Cup, and Sri Lanka will be a really strong side as well, especially in subcontinental conditions with the kind of spinning talents that they have with Dunit Vellalage and Hasaranga. They will be a really strong side. I'm so looking forward to the final as well. It's going to be a really great game. Two really strong sides in the conditions that they are playing are going to go up against each other, and it's going to be a cracker of a game, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think one more person that I want to mention here was Shaheen Afridi. Like we know that from first game he wasn't being like, except the first game, he wasn't as good as everyone expected him to be. And even in this game, he was not performing up to his mark. But when he came for the, like I think it was penalty made over, it was Like I actually thought they would give the ball to Iftikhar because the way that he was bowling, he deserved that ninth over. But I think Bobber somehow believed in Shaheen Afridi and he hit the ball, and wow, what a over that was! I think that entire over shifted the game from easy win for Sri Lanka to it's easy. It became easy win for Pakistan from there. I think he took the. I think that is the over. He took the DDS wicket. And I thought, okay, it's fine. Still, Velalahe is there. And then the next ball, it was, I think that's where you saw a 20-year-old. He just came in, and the first ball, it was well outside, uh, like off stump, and he just like threw his bat at it, and the first ball, he's gone as well. It was, yeah, it was unfortunate dismissal, but in the end, Sri Lanka, he had finished game for Sri Lanka before, and he did that again, and it was an exceptional bowling from Shaheen Afridi that over, and also Zaman Khan, the slinger bowler from Pakistan against Sri Lanka, and yeah, he bowled extremely well in his first game in the final over under all odds are against him, but he was exceptional. But I was really sad to see Sadab Khan is not performing up to his mark, and Pakistan is struggling a lot because of Sadab Khan, if I had to say, because like Sadab Khan was considered as one of the best all-rounder in the last year or two, and him struggling with his line and length and giving away easy runs, even against India, he gave a lot of runs and he couldn't perform as much. Even in this game, he struggled a lot. What's your take on Sadab Khan? What's wrong like in the last 2 3 games?
Well, I think Shadab Khan is a really talented cricketer, not just with the bat. Like you said, is a really useful all-rounder as well. But I think every cricketer goes through a phase where they're not performing at their best, and they have everything going against them. And I think the mark of a really great cricketer or talented cricketer will come out on how they come out of this bad phase and how they retain their best performance. I think, like you said, Shadab Khan has not been in his best, but with a tournament like World Cup coming in, that might really reignite his old form when he has to perform in such a major tournament for the team. Sometimes that responsibility can ignite a player's talents and take it to a new level. So let's see. Let's hope, if he performs well, it's going to be great for Pakistan because they have two players in Iftikhar Ahmed and Shadab Khan who could bowl and bat really destructively. That's a really useful proposition for any team. So if he does well, Pakistan has a really good chance of going deep in the World Cup.
True. I think one more player that I think I want to mention this one more player, Tikshana, which because you mentioned Hasaranga, Tikshana has been filling in that role of lead spinner extremely well for Sri Lanka, but unfortunately they lost Tikshana, and he will not be part of final. And so Sri Lanka lost both their top spinner, and I think that might be a big blow for Sri Lanka. And let's see how the final goes. But before final, I think we need to talk about one more game, which is India versus Bangladesh. Like before the game, I think in my mind I was like, okay, this game, it's okay, it's fine. We're gonna just play. It doesn't matter. It's not going to impact anything. But it was good from Indian side that they tried a lot of batsmen and or they tried a lot of new players. They gave a chance to all the bench players, and I think from Bangladesh point of view, they wanted to prove a point. Uh, they have to like, do something, before going back home. Unfortunately, they couldn't win any game, but what a win it was for them. We
So it was a very important win for them, uh, especially given the fact that they had lost both the games and there was a chance that they were going to go winless in the Super 4. They had to be at their best. But again, going into the game, we had a feeling that India were going to rest some of their big names and try to put in the bench players, try to get them a run because they knew this game was not going to affect their chances of qualifying to the final. And that's exactly what happened as well. They brought in Prasid Krishna, they brought in Suri Kumar Yadav, and they had a good go as well. And it's really important to keep, testing your bench now and then, and keeping them in good fitness and giving them match practice as well. And that's what happened. I would say it was a really great game. In fact, it wasn't a one-sided game by any means. Especially the way Shubman Gill batted when wickets were falling around him, the way he took the game deep. Um, I mean, he himself said that he was disappointed that he could not finish the game for us and got out at the wrong time. But it is a good sign for us that he is in good form as well.
So true. Like, where do you think we lost the game?
Uh, well, the partnership again, like the we let a big partnership. We had a chance. They were 28 for 3, 59 for 4, and at that point, the instinct should have been okay. They're 59 for 4. Let's try and get a couple of more wickets, and then let's try and wrap them up really quick. But then Shakib and Tauhid had a big partnership. Shakib scoring 80, Tauhid scoring 54. That's what kind of took the game away from us. But the one thing that we should note is the person who broke the Tawhid and Shakib partnership was Shardul Thakur. We've talked a lot about his partnership breaking abilities, and I'm really glad that he kind of held credence to her statement and broke that partnership. Very crucial partnership that was. They might have even gotten a bigger score if Shakib and Tawhid were batting together for a long time. Post that, we were able to get a quick couple of wickets, and again they were under pressure. But
When I was watching, I was feeling the exact same thing. There was a drinks break, and as soon as the break, the first ball, Thakur comes in and he picks up Shakib's wicket, and I was like, okay, finally, he's just adding some value. He's proving his worth again. Whenever there's a long partnership, yes, bring in Thakur, he will take the wicket and get India back into the team. But I think another problem that I felt was we gave away a lot of runs. I think, especially in the last, yes, that big partnership versus Saki versus Hridoy, that definitely was a dwelling point for us. But I felt we gave away like 30, 20 to 30 extra runs for sure, especially the last partnership. I think they scoring 30 runs from 20 balls, like with number 8 and uh, I think number 9 and number 10, which was very hurtful to see. Like none of our bowlers were able to, not even picking up the wicket, not even restricting them.
yes, now the Bangladesh 8, 9, 10 scored 44, 29, and 14 respectively, and like they were 193 for 7. At that point, you expect okay, we wrap them up into 20 and like call it a day. But they showed a great resistance, the Bangladesh lower order, and was able to get them to 265. Um, and that was a good score on that pitch. Uh, like we saw the other day, even 213 was good. So 265 was a really good score. We were faced with a stiff target, and unfortunately, uh, our opening partnership did not click. Rohit got out really quickly. We tried Tilak Verma. Not a great first outing for him, but I wouldn't say that's like the end of the world or something. We all know how talented he is, and when he gets more opportunities, he'll shine on as well. Another kind of very different or rather indifferent innings from KL Rahul. What's your thought about how he played?
I think when KL Rahul came in, we were in extremely big trouble.
Hmm.
We lost both Rohit Sharma and Tilak Verma, and we needed to steady the partnership considering the big target that we had, like 265, which is definitely above our target. And the bowler, like the debut bowler, Tanzim. Oh my God, what a game he had! I still can't wrap my head around it. He came in with a bat. He was a 11th batter, and he scored 14 of 8, and he smacked Shami for a 6 straight over his head, and that itself was like, wait, where did this guy come from? And when he came with the ball, like he was swinging left, right, and he was slightly inconsistent with his length, with his line. He drifted off a couple of wides, but the ball is either going to wide or it's just wicket taking delivery. That's how good he bowled. I think he's gonna be a player to watch out for Bangladesh in the future. Okay, I think I got off track, but it's okay. Let me come back to KL Rahul. He's the one who picked both the wicket of Tilak Verma and Rohit Sharma. That's where from there I went over there. So when KL Rahul got in, Shubman Gill he was playing reasonably well, but he was not at his best. The fluency was not there. He was slightly struggling, but not as much as the others. And so KL Rahul, I believe he was introduced there to calm down Gill and steady the partnership. The target was big, but it's not like extremely big that if you held some partnership, you should be able to get there. I think that might have been the thought process behind them, and that's exactly what they tried. Both of them, they just scored a single or two runs, and the run rate definitely took a hit there, but they definitely steadied the innings. And once he got out, I don't know. I think even though Gill scored most of the runs in that partnership, but I felt Rahul's influence there was very evident that he was bringing in that the calmness in the innings.
True, that's true. But once again, when he got set, we expect a big score from him. And second game running, he got really set and got out at the wrong time as well. That has to be noted. But then, like you said, after KL Rahul kind of got out, we were under a lot more pressure. Surya Kumar Yadav played okay, in my opinion, better than his few previous ODI outings. But once again, once someone is scoring 26 of 34, you expect them to carry on, but it was not to be. One thing that I would of note, in the last couple of games, the batting of Akshar Patel has been really useful, both against Sri Lanka and against Bangladesh as well. He scored 26 against Sri Lanka, 42 against Bangladesh. Really useful runs down the order. Um, Begs the question: would you pick him over Shardul Thakur for the World Cup? Considering Hardik Pandya could bowl pace, we would have three pacers, and considering that we are playing in India, do you think a third spinner would be a wise option?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. But as we already discussed, it's going to be definitely between Akshar and Thakur. Just a point to note that while playing this innings with Bangladesh, he got hit on his hand again and again and again, and he's out for the final. He's not available for the final. So I hope it's just a minor injury. I hope he will be available for World Cup. But yeah, if he's available, I'm sure he would be considered over Thakur for one reason, that is batting, and what Thakur's effect, as we saw, his ability to take wickets whenever there is a partnership going, is something that we really need, uh, because Jadeja has been bowling well, and his batting is not that great. Akshar has been batting extremely well, but his bowling is not great. Thakur has been bowling well, but his batting is not great. So all those three all rounders, I think we are struggling with. We need to find some way to mix them together to get a perfect all rounder who can both bowl and bat well at the same time.
Yep, put them in a blender, blend them together, get a new player.
Yeah.
Um, but
All
yeah,
right.
like you said, really important points to consider. I think the problem of plenty is not about bad problem to have, in my
Oh,
opinion.
actually, yeah, I think I need to point out that yes, as you mentioned, yes, we are playing in India, so it's going to be spinning track, so we could consider Aksa or Thakur was your point. I believe there are some wickets in India where India might prefer Akshar, and maybe some wicket they might pick Thakur, because I think we are playing all our games in different stadiums. So I'm sure they're gonna juggle between both of them depending on uh, how the track is expected to behave.
Well, definitely, it's going to
But
be interesting to see. the choices that they go with.
Yeah. So yeah, let's move on to our final section. Let's talk about Asia Cup final. Everything we went through in this Asia Cup is for this cup, and that's up for grab between India versus Sri Lanka. What's your expectation, Abhi?
It's an excellent game. I think Sri Lanka well deserved finalist for the kind of game, for the kind of cricket that they are playing in this tournament. It's going to be once again in Colombo. We saw how the track could behave, how it could be conducive for spin in the last couple of games, and I think the big matchup is going to be the Indian batting order, the top five versus the spin threat of Sri Lanka. Oh, as you noted correctly, um, Tikshana is out for the game, might be out for the game as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who they're going to pick in place of him. But Velalage showed how big of a threat he could be. So if we could mitigate the threat of the Sri Lankan spinners, um, I think the game could be won and lost there. And also, another interesting matchup is the middle order, Sri Lankan middle order, which has showed good form versus our uh, fifth bowler. We know our four-man stream bowlers' capability, but they could try and attack our fifth bowler, and that could put us under pressure. And it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. What do you think? What
Yeah,
What do you think are going to be the interesting matchups for this game?
I still can't put my hand down and say who's going to perform or which team is going to win. Both of them have their chance. I think the bigger threat here is the rain. We have a reserve day, but supposedly it's expected to rain even on the reserve day. And I think the problem here is I don't want India to win the toss, because if you if you decided to bat first, okay, you have an excellent condition to bat, but if it rains, they reduce the overs in the second innings. It's going to make it easy for Sri Lanka to chase. Let's pick the other way. If you choose to bowl first, it is going to be extremely difficult to chase, as we saw in the last 2 3 games, that it gets difficult to bat under lights in the Colombo Stadium. The ball seems a lot in the second innings. So I don't know. I really don't want to be Rohit Sharma to make the call on whether to bat or ball. I think let's just hope whatever we do, we try our best, and irrespective of the results, I feel like this is a great opportunity for testing our both batting and bowling, to check how they perform under pressure, because this is another knockout game. We haven't had fun at knockout games in ICC tournaments in the recent time, but this is not an ICC tournament. Still, it's some sort of a knockout game. So I'm hoping for a exciting and yeah, I'm hoping for an exciting final.
I was so caught up with matchups that I forgot the biggest matchup of them all, rain versus the ground staff. That's kind of been the
Yeah,
narrative throughout this tournament, especially the games that are being held in Sri Lanka. All of them, almost all of them, have been rain affected, and I really hope that rain doesn't come into play in the final. Uh, One other thing I would note is I think the Indian cricketers in their post-match presentations have noted this as well, is how excellent the ground staff has been. We have to give credit to them. They made every game possible. They made their best. They gave their best to ensure that every game has a result, and they got the right appreciation from Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli in their post-match presentation. And I hope if it rains, I hope they could do their best once again and give us an exciting game to watch.
yeah. Kudos to the ground staffs, and yeah, as we said, thank you everyone for joining this episode. Let's see you all after the finals. Enjoy.
Bye.
Thank you.